Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Beyond the Veil Tarot and Astrology. My name is Candace Marie, and I am back at it with your monthly horoscope for August of 2025. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm excited to be here. Honestly, August is a cosmic roller coaster this month. We're going to be seeing a lot of stuff going on. We've got some bold Leo vibes, obviously, and a game-changing Aquarius full moon. Now, Mars is going to be shaking things up in the sign of Libra, and I'll be breaking down your personal sign's horoscope with a focus on the month ahead, where it is kind of hitting in your houses, what's going on with your chart ruler, and how to make sense of it all. So please enjoy these personalized horoscopes for your sun, moon, or rising sign to slay August's energy. Now, you guys can take a look at this list right here. These are all the transits that I'm going to be going through for your horoscope this month. Equally, they're going to be down below in the description if you would like to make a copy of them. But the major highlights, obviously, month kicks off with the sun in Leo, and then we're going to see Mars entering into Libra on August 6th. We'll have a full moon in Aquarius at 16 degrees. That'll be taking place on August the 9th. Now, Mercury will be going direct in Leo, which means the Mercury retrograde's over. Still have a little bit of shadow. That'll be taking place on August 11th. And the longly anticipated, Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer, also on August 11th. Now, the sun then shifts into Virgo on the 22nd of the month, and we will see the first of two Virgo new moons, okay? So that's kind of rare and unusual. The second one will be a solar eclipse in September of 2025. So knowing that we're about a few short weeks out from coming into September's eclipse season, know that some of you guys might start feeling the rumbles of change. So in particular, if you have any personal planets or placements in the signs of Virgo or Pisces, that's what you guys are really going to be wanting to look for. Now, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And without further ado, let's get started. Capricorn rising. Welcome to August 2025. August is all about transformation, Capricorn, and some really good relationship stuff too. So your focus is on deep change and partnership dynamics this month. Your chart ruler, Saturn, is still retrograde in Aries, and he's going to get a little challenge this month. You're going to see some oppositions between Mars and Saturn taking place. Really, I see this as, while Saturn's in the fourth house retrograde, it's pushing a reevaluation of your foundation, a reevaluation of your living situation, your home, your family, your emotions. And even though there's going to be some tension between private life and work life, you are going to see some sextiles to Pluto in Aquarius in your money house, also shifts and transformation of values. And some sextiles that are going to be happening with Uranus and Gemini, where you're switching up your routine. So try to lean into consistency, staying grounded, and being open to change when you feel the pressure of Saturn and Mars opposing. You're going to build strong foundations this month. That's what I think you're really working on. And obviously, the month kicks off with the sun in Leo. So with the sun going through the 8th house in a sign that is, quincunx are in conjunct, there has been a lot of, since July, reevaluating like shadow stuff or things revolving around karmic connections, relationships, vulnerability, finances. Mercury has been retrograde there. So you're continuing like this deep dive in the topics of shared resources and transformation. There has been an intense reevaluation, but you're actually getting ready to see quite the glow up here pretty soon. Now, Mars will move into Libra. That'll go into your 10th house of career, professional connections, and your job. And if you happen to be an early degree Capricorn, sun, moon, or rising, so the first 0 to, I'd say, 5 degrees, you're really feeling the effects of Mars squaring and Mars opposing. So be mindful of that there can be a little bit of tension mid-month. Now, Mars is surging through your 10th house of career. So you're going to feel like taking bold action, being more competitive, showing up, focusing on being the best, being first, and being seen. But the key here is to avoid overstepping other people, okay? There can be lots of professional drive, But Mars is going to deal with the past. It's also about home-related things and family. It's also about groups. So there can be this feeling of coming in and being like supercharged to work, but there could be some competitiveness or conflicts with, people at work, people that you kind of collaborate with, particularly groups. So watch out for that. The other transit that's going to be happening just shortly after that will be on the 8th. This is when we see Mars in Libra in your career house oppose Saturn in Capricorn in your 4th house. Saturn in Aries in your 4th house, Capricorn. Very tricky. This is going to be a little bit harder because Mars is the faster moving planet. So for all of my, I would say Capricorns, Aquariuses, and Aries, it's going to be much more difficult for you guys to navigate this particular transit. So just fair warning. Saturn wants restriction, right? It wants commitment. It wants to stay put. It doesn't want to back down. And it's also about responsibility and kind of like coming of age. So with Saturn retrograde in your 4th, there's a sense of you kind of reassessing, okay, do I like living here? How am I feeling? Do I need to get out of the house? Do I need to get back into work? And what's going to happen here with the opposition is there's tension between what you're doing out in the world work-wise, especially your relationship to your job, Libra, and that opposition to your home. So you have to balance both. You have to find the center balance. And some of you guys will probably find that there are themes like, I got to get out of the house. I got to go back to work. There can also be a theme of, having a lot changing in your private life or with your family. And there's a lot of pressure, but you're like, I have to kind of put on my game face and head into work. Some of you guys might be contemplating moving and relocating for work. That can also come up as well. I would say you don't want to make any impulsive decisions about changes at work or home, okay? So that can definitely come up this month. Now, there will be a full moon in Aquarius on August 9th, and that will be in your 2nd house of personal finance, resources, values, money, self-esteem. So when you have the full moon there on the 9th in Aquarius, there is this major spotlight on finances and self-worth. And I think a lot of you guys are going to have a breakthrough. This is all about reassessing your value, and there is going to be some kind of like clarity revolving around your financial, situation. It can be a time where there is like a payout, money's coming in, there is like a significant financial shift. And this full moon is ruled by Uranus. And what's interesting is that this will trine Uranus, Pluto. So the transformation in your finances is being brought on by changes in your habits, your health, your productivity, your workspace, and also Uranus is trining Mars. So around the time that this is happening, there's a grand air trine. And this means that if you're keeping an open mind and staying flexible and being willing to make change, major financial and health-related things can shift. It can be very positive for you. So I have a feeling that you may be changing your schedule, or you may be changing something about where or how you're working due to some of those aspects. So I hope that you guys do well with that full moon. And on the 9th of the month, we will then see Mars in Libra come into opposition with Neptune. So still very close to the Saturn opposition over a several day period. Basically, Neptune creates confusion, right? So confusion in career or home goals, or there's a sense of going after a job, but not knowing, how is that going to work with my home schedule? Am I going to have to relocate? Am I going to want to commute, that far away? Confusion. So don't make a lot of commitments, right? Especially because Neptune can be about driving. It can be about communication. Be honest about whether or not, there's stuff going on at home, if it's keeping you from working or vice versa. If there's stuff going on at work, but you really need to be home, or emotionally there's some stuff kind of going on. Trust your instincts. I think that is like the big thing here as well. Now, on the 11th of the month, Mercury goes direct in the sign of Leo. So the Mercury retrograde is over. It started in July and it went retrograde through your 8th house, where there has been some reevaluation of joint finances, emotional things that have been kind of coming up for you, dealing with tax issues, dealing with debt or some kind of inheritance issue. And also like benefits, insurance related stuff can be kind of coming up here as well. So now that Mercury is going direct on the 11th, it's time for you to move forward with, financial conversations, or, have emotional conversations to clear things up. Be honest with other people about how you're feeling and keep an open mind, because this is about some change that's been happening about how you look at your health and your habits. On the 11th, we will also see Saturn sextile Uranus. So Saturn in your home zone retrograde in Aries, sextile Uranus in your 6th house. For me, this kind of says that, your chart ruler is now being supported by new innovative routines. Maybe now you're working independently, or you have a flexible part-time position. Maybe you are changing something about your productivity and your habits in your day-to-day life. And this is beneficial for you because it's going to help provide stable progress in both of these areas. On the 11th of the month, we will also see Jupiter conjunct Venus in Cancer. And this is extra sweet because Jupiter is a benefic. It's about growth, abundance, and joy. Venus is as well. She's about beauty, love, and harmony. This is a once in a 12-year transit, although you will get it again next year, by the way. You're going to get it right before Jupiter leaves. You'll get it twice. For good luck in relationships. This is basically a time where lucky partnerships or relationship type things are happening, right? So Venus is going to be about your career. It's also about your relationship status. It's also about romance and children. Could there be some lucky connection? Do you meet somebody through work? Do you find a headhunter that helps you score the perfect job? Do you connect with somebody who ends up being like the perfect match? Existing relationships can find that there could be more joy, harmony, and romance. And obviously there is this sense of feeling like there is this very fated situation happening in a relationship that can be just absolutely beautiful. So enjoy the romance or business deals. I think they're going to shine and you're going to have lots of abundance in your connections. Now, the 22nd of the month, the sun will then go into Virgo. So it's going to go into your 9th house of foreign travel, education, law, legality, your belief system, and like legal matters, teaching. So that's going to be your focus for the next couple of weeks. And I think this is where like learning and beliefs get more practical because it's in Virgo. So you get more practical about, well, can I go on that trip? Can I plan that course? And you'll be expanding more so wisely. So I expect that this is going to bring you a feeling of being more grounded when it comes to these topics. Now, you like Virgo because it is a fellow earth sign. So it'll be at some point trining one of your Capricorn placements. And then on the 23rd of the month, you're going to see a new moon taking place in Virgo at 0 degrees in your 9th house. Now, new moons, we set new intentions. In this case, if you have intentions of wanting to book a trip, planning something, if you want to learn something new, you can do that. And the theme is about having a fresh perspective. What's cool is that there will be 2 new moons in Virgo. You're going to have one that's going to be at 0 degrees this month. Next month, we're going to have a 29-degree solar eclipse new moon in Virgo. So a double dose. So if you're an early Capricorn, you benefit from this one. If you're a late Capricorn, you're going to benefit from next month. And I really feel like this is all about, like I said, having fresh perspectives or maybe starting a new philosophy practice, starting something revolving around travel or education or teaching. Now, on the 25th of the month, you're going to see Venus is going to dip into your 8th house, Leo. And this is where now Venus goes through an intense change and transformative period as she goes through the 8th house. So this is going to be really where I think, charm will boost anything connected to shared resources, right? More romance, more sex, maybe even, better intimacy with relationships. You could find that people are more generous with you. You could be getting bonuses or there could just be just better financial things kind of going on, especially if you've been taking risks, anything speculative, the stock market, anything with investments. And also Venus is connected to your career. So there can be a sense of, I got a new job and it's going to be better benefits. Something like that can kind of come through. And lots of magnetic depth. Then on the 28th of the month, you will see Uranus in Gemini coming into a sextile with Neptune in Aries in your 4th. So this is where, there's some things changing, obviously, when it comes to your health. Maybe you are making major changes and overhauls to how you're eating or working out or how you're approaching health. And this can be beneficial also for your emotions as well as strategizing, making plans revolving around your family or changes with your home schedule, maybe even organization and kind of cleanliness of your home. So I think you're going to feel that there's some insights coming in about your home or your living situation, and you're feeling very inspired because you're making some changes to your routine. So think of things like, I'm eating differently, I'm meal prepping, I'm getting up at a certain time, I'm going for walks every other day, things like that. That's actually going to bring more stability and structure to your life. All right, so my advice for you guys is, please be careful on August the 8th. You are not going to be too crazy about the Saturn-Mars opposition. Push for career goals for sure, but stay diplomatic. Mars is in Libra. And maybe this is time to kind of get out of your comfort zone, put yourself out there and be exploring new options at work, even if it means kind of breaking with old ways of doing things. Now, that full moon is all about your money. So I want you to be asking yourself, what is my worth when it comes through in Aquarius? Review your budget, maybe negotiate for a raise. And the Venus-Jupiter conjunction is strengthening partnerships around the 11th. So plan a date, maybe pitch a collaboration, put yourself out there, and don't be surprised if there is some kind of weird karmic thing going on in a relationship that can be really good. And that new moon is all about starting a course or a plan, maybe even a trip. So the theme with that new moon in Virgo, and the one next month as well, is going to be about growing through knowledge. So my Capricorns, August is all about transforming your foundations and your relationships. Saturn's keeping you grounded. Make sure you are building wisely. Let's see what the tarot says for you for the month ahead. Oh, okay. You got Temperance, healing, balancing. Also connected to Sag, right? Where, Jupiter, the ruler, is meeting with Venus. Some of you guys might find that whether it's a therapist, a career coach, a headhunter, somebody, a coach of some kind, even an astrologer, somebody can come in that's like giving you some insight about, hey, here's how you heal this situation. Here's how you fix it. Remember, Venus is the ruler of Mars, okay? So the fact that Venus rules Mars, it's saying, yeah, you could be having some difficult or tough stuff at work and you can be feeling kind of heavy, but you could have like an amazing partner or spouse that's like, hey, what can I help? What can I do to help you kind of like balance this out? This is also about patience and timing, not rushing through things, which is incredibly important as we have oppositions to Saturn and Neptune and Aries. A lot of people are going to be feeling like they want immediate results and we're just not going to get it. So you want to kind of pace yourself. And I could see this as a time where all of the pieces are kind of falling into place. And you will probably really, really enjoy the latter part of the month once you're starting to see things actually cooling off and we don't see these oppositions anymore. And you're leaning into the change. So this can be about emotional healing, practices, anything kind of connected to wellness. That is where you really want to focus. And of course, that's due to you're on a sextile Saturn. So be really open to new ways of healing emotionally, but also spiritually. All right, so that's your August 2025 horoscope. I hope it's helpful for you guys. Obviously, this month is all about balancing moves with inner clarity. Drop me a comment below. I'd love to hear how you guys are doing with this month's energy. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and sharing is caring. You also want to make sure that you check out your sun, moon, and rising predictions. You got to look at all 3 videos to kind of get a general insight as to what's going to be going on this month. And make sure you guys are subscribed. You want to stay in the know with some of the eclipses that are going to be coming next month in September. Now you can see more about me and my work, book a personal reading, pick up a personal transit calendar, or I teach astrology as well as tarot. So check out the links below. Head over to my website at beyondtheveiltarot.com. Until then, I'll see you guys the next month. I hope August is a beautiful month for you.